Jayden Daniels, the quarterback of the Washington Commanders, has had arguably the best rookie season in the history of the National Football League. And he has a big secret to his success that I think that everybody is about to copy in the National Football League. And I think that, a golden age of quarterback play here in the National Football League is on the horizon, and it's a lot have to do with this guy right here. So before we get into what that secret is, how it benefits him, and then how it can benefit other quarterbacks in their development, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. If you love Jayden Daniels and you love that he is the starting quarterback of the Washington Commanders. So Jayden's secret, all right, this is a big secret to success. He's been doing it since his senior season there at LSU, is that he does daily VR training with the Commanders coaching staff, where every single morning at 6 a.m., he puts on his VR headset and he goes through at least one entire game. So that's around, 50 offensive plays or so against the opposing defense that he's going to be playing that weekend, along with the offensive game plan that is inputted by Cliff Kingsbury and the rest of the Commanders' offensive staff. And he essentially plays a game in the headset, and he kind of sees what the defense is going to be looking like to prepare himself for games and give him extra mental reps. But also, another thing is that in this VR headset, it is sped up to 1.75 times speed so that he has to read these coverages faster and harder than it's going to be in the game. All right, so before we get into the technology and how it works and why it benefits Jayden, I want to take you back to 2021. All right, because you have to remember, Jayden Daniels, during that season, his final year at Arizona State, was not a good quarterback. All right, just a 65.4% completion percentage, way less than 200 passing yards per game. In a college offense, that's absolutely abysmal. Just 16 total touchdowns. That's both passing and rushing, and he had 10 interceptions. So he wasn't getting the ball out on time. He wasn't really aware of what he was seeing post-snap, and then he was throwing the ball into dangerous situations because he just didn't know what he was looking at in terms of processing an NCAA defense, let alone an NFL defense. Then he transfers to LSU, and he surrounds himself with better coaching, with better talent like Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. as his receivers, and obviously the numbers do go up. He did get better, 68.6% completions, just over 200 yards passing per game, and the touchdowns did increase to 28, and then he did a good job protecting the football that year with just 3 interceptions. But despite these numbers, all right, Daniels was still considered a day 3 pick, and he was considered kind of like a lottery ticket, somebody that was super skinny, somebody that wasn't going to be able to hold up in the NFL, somebody that was a good rusher of the football but didn't protect himself, and then he wasn't a good enough pocket passer to be able to thrive in the National Football League. But then his life completely changed when LSU turned to a German engineering couple here that founded a VR training company called Cognize, who contacted the LSU Tigers trying to get involved with their VR headset training with the LSU Tigers football club because their company worked with militaries in Europe, and then for their fighter pilot training, and then also with European soccer teams, and then also stuff like F1 drivers would use their stuff to train themselves for the mental aspects of those respective games and those respective professions. And this company from Germany really wanted to get involved with American football, and LSU was really the first kind of program to really take it on. And lo and behold, the quarterback of their program at the time was Jayden Daniels. And you can see, man, after using this technology, immediately Jayden Daniels goes from, a pretty decent college quarterback that's probably going to go on day 3 of the NFL draft to arguably the greatest season we have ever seen from a college quarterback ever, and winning the Heisman Trophy. He went from 68.6% completion percentage to 72.2. His yards per attempt jumped from 7.5 to 11.7. That is a massive jump, ladies and gentlemen. His yards per game, over 100 more yards passing per game, and then the touchdowns went from a very respectable 28 to 50 total touchdowns in his final season in Baton Rouge. And then, he kept the interception numbers still extremely low. So you take a look at the growth from Jayden Daniels from that 2021 season with Arizona State all the way to the completion of his college journey, when in that final season he was using the Cognize VR training headsets. And you guys can see the growth year after year, and then it all culminates in that 50 touchdown to 4 interception season that landed him the Heisman Trophy and number 2 overall in the NFL draft to the Washington Commanders. So coming up next year, I'm going to explain how this technology works and why it could change the way that NFL quarterbacks and really college quarterbacks train and develop in the future, and why this could be hugely beneficial to the game of football over the future years here, because I think this stuff is really, really special, guys. But before we get into the rest of today's video, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Game Time, which is the best place for you to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. All you have to do is select the Game Time Picks button at the top of the screen. When you click into an event you guys want to go see, here's an example. You guys see the Game Time Picks button at the top there. All you have to do is click that button, and it automatically filters through their entire database of tickets to find you the best deals with the best views, the best ticket prices, all that great stuff. It does the research for you so that you don't have to spend hours finding the right tickets for you and your family. What I love about using the Game Time app and why it's the only ticketing app I have on my phone is you get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event, all-in pricing so you don't get slapped with a crazy fee at checkout, and flash deals so you can get even cheaper tickets the closer you wait to game time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. It's one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. So the question on your mind right now is probably, how does this Cognize VR, technology work? And then why is it beneficial for quarterback development? And why is this potentially the future of quarterback development in the NFL, college football, and probably even high school football moving forward? Well, here's how it works, guys. So the VR headset can display coverages and plays in real time. And these things can be customized, guys, to the playbook and specific game plans that coaching staffs want to go with offensively. And then they can also use AI to randomize coverages and pre-snap looks, post-snap looks that the opposing defense that the team is going to be playing that week are going to run, so that not only the quarterback can see the plays unfold, but they can see all the post-snap rotations. They know everything that the opposing defense wants to do defensively before they even hit the field. Also, the plays run at 1.75 times speed to train the brain to slow down. All right, it makes it harder to read the defense in the headset than it is in an actual game, so that when you actually get on the playing surface, it's like playing at half speed. It looks like things are going slower than they are in the headset. Also, it gives the quarterback at least 250 to 300 extra mental reps per week. Jayden Daniels goes over at least 50 plays per day, every single day, in preparation for his next opponent every single morning at 6 a.m. It's how he starts his day before he heads into the facility. Then he ends up going to practice and taking even more reps during practice. Then the eye tracking tech inside these VR headsets also allows coaches to coach up these players, because if their eyes are not in the right spot, if they're not reading the right things, the coaches can see that and they can make corrections based on the video that is brought into the cloud. And then also, if they have stadium-specific details for every single NFL stadium, every single stadium that you can possibly think of, so you can identify play clocks, identify all the different clocks that quarterbacks need to have their eyes on, so that the quarterback can get used to the process of operating the offense in that stadium. So why does this stuff work? All right, why is this beneficial to Jayden Daniels, and why is this beneficial to potentially other quarterbacks out there? Well, first of all, you get more mental reps without the physical toll, all right? You're pretty much just going through the offense. You have a little clicker to show where you want to throw the football, all these different things. You're not getting hit, all these different things, and it's something that can be done over the course of an hour in your bedroom in the morning. That's what Jayden Daniels does, at least. Then you get to the fact that it's harder, than a game. You make this stuff harder than a game. If you've ever been around a great coach, they make practice harder than it's going to be in a game, so that when you get on that playing surface, maybe you have those butterflies, as Jayden Daniels likes to call them, it's just second nature at that point, right? And it's easier than what it is in practice. And then also the games feel slower, like I discussed, guys, because you're so used to processing these defenses at almost 2 times the speed that you're going to see them in real life. And, it just becomes so much easier. And this is why it looks like Jayden Daniels is always in control. I mean, the crazy results are, guys, not only did Jayden Daniels arguably had the best college football season for a quarterback ever, he has now turned that into arguably the best rookie season for any quarterback in National Football League history. And Daniels claims, since he started using this technology, that his mental processing speed and his ability to read defenses have gone up 80%. since he first started. That is crazy results. And I think we see those results on the field. And Daniels even went so far as that during the draft process this year, he told all teams that were interested in drafting him that they had to invest in Cognize and in this VR technology in order for him to accept playing for that football team. So he pretty much went to the Commanders and said, you guys have to invest millions of dollars in Cognize, in this VR technology, so that I can be at my best. And guess what the Commanders did? They believe in Jayden Daniels, so they made this investment, and look at the damn results, man. The results are only the greatest rookie season in the history of the National Football League for a quarterback. I think the Commanders certainly feel like that investment was certainly worth it. You take a look at the numbers for Jayden Daniels this year in the regular season, a 69% completion percentage, over 200 yards passing per game, then a great touchdown to turnover-worthy play percentage ratio right there, 31 total touchdowns, so just 14 interceptions plus fumbles. Then in the playoffs, he's even better, 69.96% completions with almost 80 yards more per game passing, 4 total touchdowns, and then no turnover-worthy plays versus the Buccaneers or Lions on the game's biggest stages. And guys, it's not just Jayden Daniels. If this was just Jayden Daniels, that'd be one thing. But look at what it's done for Marcus Mariota. Look at the career averages for Mariota throughout his career, and then look how he did in his admittedly small sample size with the Washington Commanders. But he played almost 3 full games, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's not like it's a tiny sample size. He went from a 63.0 career average completion percentage to 77.3 in this Commanders offense this year. The yards per attempt jumped almost a full yard. The touchdown percentage over pretty much doubled. Then the interception percentage, didn't throw a single interception all season long when he was in the game, and his quarterback rating jumped to a 131.2. And listen, man, I think Mariota has a chance to be a bridge starter for an NFL team next year. I think he played that well with the Washington Commanders. Plus, he showed that he can lead a game-winning drive against a decent defense in the Dallas Cowboys on the road, scoring 3 touchdowns in that season finale. I mean, I think that Mariota is maybe even more proof that this VR technology can be game-changing for quarterbacks in the National Football League. And if you guys need even more evidence of that, just look at the Minnesota Vikings. All right, they brought this stuff in as part of their quarterback program this year with Sam Darnold. And look at his numbers this year, man. Look at the jumps in his production. All right, the yards per attempt goes up almost a full yard. Yet again, the completion percentage way higher than his career average. The touchdown percentage way higher than his career average. The interception percentage still too high, but it definitely went down from before. And the quarterback rating was the best he's ever had. Now, it certainly helps when you have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Kevin O'Connell calling your plays. But I also think using this technology every day certainly helped him out and helped him become a bona fide starting quarterback in the National Football League. And I think he's about to get paid. All right, I think that, there's a very good chance that he gets paid $30+ million per season by the next team that ends up getting his services. And that's all because of the career renaissance he had in Minnesota using this technology every single day. So my take on Cognize and on this VR technology that's kind of just starting to make waves in the National Football League is I just don't think it's a coincidence that all of these quarterbacks in the NFL that are trying this thing out are having massive success and are playing much better football than they have in previous seasons. And I truly believe that this technology here, that speeds up mental processing, development in quarterbacks. I mean, remember, Jayden Daniels was a nobody before this stuff, and then all of a sudden he implements it, and he's the best rookie quarterback in the history of the National Football League. I think it's the future of quarterback development. I think that in the future here, there's going to be way fewer NFL quarterback busts in the first round. I think that, quarterback evaluation is going to become a lot more about physical skill set. How well do you make plays out of structure? How well can you run the football? What's your size? What's your arm strength? What's your arm talent level? Because I think that this technology is going to help some of these super massively talented physically quarterbacks really get things going and kind of develop in the mental aspect of the game, which really leads to a lot of busts in the first round in the NFL draft. And, I think that because of that, we are kind of approaching a dawn of a golden age of quarterback play in the National Football League. With quarterbacks, with this kind of technology, it's very possible that all 32 starting quarterbacks are elite level mental processors, and then the game really becomes about physical skill set and how well you can make plays out of structure, because everybody is going to be able to do a really good job within structure, being able to read defenses, all this different stuff, and it's going to completely change the NFL game as we know it over the next 2 decades or so. And I think that Jayden Daniels is a big reason why that this revolution is coming our way. All right, like somebody needed to be the first one to have success with this type of stuff, because there's always going to be like the old school Moneyball people. They're like, oh, I don't want change. It's football. But like this is the stuff that can make our game move forward. And Jayden Daniels is a new school level of quarterback that uses this technology every single day. And you guys see the results. It's only his rookie season in the league. He's already led his team to an NFC Championship game. And he's already, in my opinion, a top 5 starting quarterback in the game today. So if it works for Jayden, and it works for Sam Darnold, and it works for Marcus Mariota, and it works for Garrett Nussmeir at LSU, I think this technology can work for most quarterbacks in the National Football League, and it can completely revolutionize the game as we know it today. Thank you guys so much for listening to me throughout my entire rant today. Thank you so much for that. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we have in-depth, extensive Commanders coverage like this every single day. So make sure you click that subscribe button right now. And until next time, guys, hail to the Commanders.